the next phase, right, phase 3 is working our footwork. All right, I'm a big board guy. Okay, so when we talk about inside zone, right, our footwork is wedge 90. Why? Because we want to get vertical push. Okay, so I make sure our guys understand that. Okay, so our footwork is wedge 90. All right, I'll show you guys that here in a second on the boards. But wedge crotch is our outside zone, right? So now we want to give a little stretch. Our aiming point's wider, so our footwork is wider. All right, on the backside of cutting off a G technique, okay, it's called rip, reach, overtake. Okay, so now we're stepping over the board and we're going, and then the last one is doing our footwork to the second level. Okay, so this is how I work my footwork, and I take the next phase in my drills. Okay, so here's our wedge 90. Okay, you can see from the top view. The first thing I always do is I want to make sure they're gaining ground on their first step. I'll put a little wood board there, right, and I'll just say set, reset. So I just want them to step over the board, gain a little bit of ground, work our first step mechanics. All right, so I'll just go set, and then I'll tell them reset. Set, and then I'll go reset. And now I'm going to tell them to drive. I'll have the cadence, okay, so they hit, and now they're running, they're driving through contact, and they're going through the cone and going. So here, we're working our wedge 90 footwork. All right, next footwork is wedge crotch, all right, that's our outside zone. Now I turn the board, all right, I turn the board, same thing with the set, reset, okay, so set, reset, again, set, reset, and now I go. All right, we're going on that angle. Okay, our aiming point is wider, so our footwork is wider. Still working our core mechanics and driving through. Okay, the last one is rip, reach, overtake. Okay, and doing this, right, I first fell to putting them on the back of the board. All right, but what happened was when I put them on the back of the board, they would actually just open up and they wouldn't gain any ground. Okay, they wouldn't gain any ground. They would end up gaining. It's always when I stepped over to the right. So I'm going to stay in the middle. All right, but whenever I'm on the back of the board and they basically open up, right, now they're going to end up basically just dropping their foot, okay, and open up their hip. But if they go to the middle of the board, now I know they're gaining ground and they're opening up. Okay, so when you see here, right, they're gaining ground, they're opening up. Now they're ready to rip their arm, right? They're cutting off a 3 technique. Okay, if it's the center, they're cutting off a nose. But they're making sure that they gain ground, open up, and then ripping their arm. Okay, and you'll just go down the line, same thing, boom, ripping it. Okay, now the left side goes, they'll go to the right. Again, finish it through the cone, ripping their arm. Okay, making sure they gain ground and go. All right? Cool. Yes?
The guys on the left side look like that step was more, I'd say, parallel or flat. The guys on the right looked like they were dropping more with that inside foot. You want it to be flat, or you want them to lose ground, to gain ground?
I want them to, yeah, I don't want it to be too flat. Like how the first guy did it was good. I see what you're saying, but I want to make sure that I'm giving a little ground, and I just want to make sure I step over the board. I don't want it to be parallel, because I want to have to lose it. Because if that 3 technique's coming off the field, I want to be able to cut him off. If I'm going flat and he's coming up the field, I'm not going to be able to cut it off.
Lose ground to gain.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And making sure they open it. He was a little bit better, but I could see Tyler. But see, if you have noticed this, I saw Tyler step on the board. He actually steps on the board, right? I'm right here. I said, "Did you step on the board?" He told me no, so he lied to me. All right. So that's Tyler Rabel for you. But okay, I love the kid. But you can see right here, I'm like, "Did you step on the board?" He's like, "Nope." I'm like, "All right." Okay, so all right. The next thing is doing our footwork. So every single footwork we just talked about, right? Not the backside cutoff really, but the wedge 90 and wedge crotch. Now we're going to the second level with it. All right. And the one thing I do also is you can see. Right, I do my core mechanics on the second level. Okay, I want to make sure that they don't reach at contact. Linebackers are more. We don't have our legs underneath them, right? Or underneath us. Move, and we're not going to have our legs to be able to move when they move. Okay, so you can see when they go to the second level, like you see the guy on the left, he's calling his hands, and now his feet are underneath him at contact, and he's be able to drive through contact with his legs. He's not reaching, all right? So same thing, boom, strike it, and drive. Okay, you can see the one here, Alec, same deal, bringing his legs with his upper body, Now his upper body before his legs, he's keeping everything underneath him and running. And driving his legs through contact. Man, this is the most important. Driving a linebacker is the difference between a 5-yard play and an explosive play. See from the top view, same deal. Keeping your elbows tight, going, punching, and driving. All right, the next